land and everything.
Right.
And so he, after he died, they were trying to find a will. And I think somebody found a will in the Bible where he wanted his land to be sold to help the poor, you know. And so, and that's why they wanted Wilson named after him.
Right.
You know, and also he wanted to build a school for the blacks also, but during that time, that was 1849.
Right.
You know, they didn't allow that during that time, but he supported. But I think the first school he built was on Pine Street and Jackson Street. He built a school for the boys.
Okay.
And he built a school for the girls. But all that information.
Of course, that building doesn't exist anymore. I know.
But all that right there.
Right.
Oh, that's his picture right there. But it tell you everything about him.
Right.
You know, and all what he done.
So I believe he was I think he was like a war veteran or something.
He
right
was.
At that time.
Yeah, he was.
A little bit about him.
Well, he was in politics too.
Right.
But see what happened, he got out of politics and but he wanted to fight in this Revolutionary War, but he got sick, had yellow fever and died.
I see something interesting you have up here. We just spoke with an individual a couple days ago, and she was telling us about Daniel Hill.
Oh yeah, that's all.
And I knew it was this area around here, right?
Yeah, that's the old Daniel Hill school bus. I rode on that bus.
Really?
When I was 7 years old.
Yeah,
because we had to walk to school, and so anyway, and they had a community meeting way back then, you know, and they said that the children on this side of town need a bus too, so they got together and got a bus.
Now, where did you go to school at when you rode that bus?
Well, when I went to let me see now. I went to Elm Street School.
Okay, right.
But I started out at Sally B. Not Sally B, but
Sally Barber.
Sally Barber School.
Right.
And then later, you know, they built Elm Street School, and then we, you know, transferred there.
Right.
And but now it's Daniel Learning Center now. Yeah. But that's the picture of the school that we went to, Sally Barber School. Yeah, that's it, and that's the old Barton High School.
Right.
See, back then they used to call it the Colored Elementary School, and also the Colored High School. Because I went to the library trying to find some information about Sally Barber School, but they called me and told me they found the Colored Elementary School.
Right. He said, that's it.
I said, that's
Right,
it. They
right.
showed the picture. I said, that's it. And that's how I got a lot of the information. And so most all this about Wilson and everything about the buildings and that, I think that show you child department store. You can't see it, but I used to work there in 1962 to 66.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, but anyway, that's where I used to work, and then those are guys that were killed in Vietnam, and but this guy right here, well, I remember when he went into the Marine now, and I was at the recreation center, and he told me, said, Neal, he said, you want a soda? I said, not really. He said, you better take one because you might not see me no more.
Right.
I'm going in the Marine. And sure enough, he went in the Marine and got killed.
What was his name? Did you serve too?
No. I got married young.
Oh, really? Okay.
Been married about 50 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I could have went, but somehow the people I was working for, they did something, I don't know what they did.
Right.
My mama cried. You know, that Vietnam War was going on, so she cried and kept telling me I won't coming back home, and I'm gonna pray that you won't have to go. Well, anyway, I got married, and for some reason they said that don't mean you're not going. We can still get you, but they didn't ever call me back no more.
This is interesting. I see this picture here. I've been talking to a lot of people about these marshes the past couple of weeks. I've never seen any pictures of it.
Yeah, I could, but I can't take that down though. But that, I can't even read it now, because that was back in the 60s sometime.
Yeah, 68.
I think her sister was in that picture.
Who is it now?
Doretha, I think they had
I
went
mean,
to
what
Raleigh.
is the picture about?
When they went to Raleigh.
Oh yeah, she walked
Yeah.
all the way from Wilson to Raleigh.
She did.
Yeah, I
Wore
think they
shoes
started-
out, mama.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
mad.
Yeah, they were there. And so, and this guy right here, now he graduated from Barton High School back in 1954. He went to A&T State University, and he graduated and went in the Air Force, and he became a pilot, the B-52 pilot, and but he got killed. That airplane went down over Denton, North Carolina,
Okay.
and I think it was 8 crew on that flight, and 2 of them survived. But I got the story in that book.
Oh,
there.
really? Okay.
You probably can say it a whole lot better, and but I guess people done forgot about him, but that's part of Black history.
Right. I'm thinking I've heard that story somewhere, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
part of Black history right there, because you don't hear nobody talking about him,
No,
you know,
no.
and everything. And I remember when they had a funeral at Barton High School.
Really?
I remember. I think it was 1961. Yeah, and all.
Who was that, Louis?
That's that William Farmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so that's the Black movement. Well, back then they didn't use the term black; they used color.
Right. That's the Ritz.
Red Theater.
Right.
Yeah. And I went to that movie myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to that movie myself. Yeah. And that's my father-in-law. He served in World War II. And he tell us some story about, you know, how it was there. He got wounded and everything. And so he told us this, you know, about him in World War II. All this is those old antique stuff and some of everything.
Oh yeah, my grandfather used to have a lot of stuff like this.
And then all in this trunk, nothing but local military news. Nothing but local military news. I just keep up with it. And this is Louis, excuse me. I got social now.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Wilson.
Well, you can see where he supported education for black somewhere in there.
Right there, huh?
You see it?
Yep, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilson. Yeah, Wilson. He was nobly is a prominent women now. I can't have
So
see
he was
a free public education for both blacks and whites.
Whites, right.
Yeah, but you know they didn't allow that back then. But you know, but that might be one reason why they named Wilson after him.
Yeah. Right.
Because what he stand for, you know, and everything.
That's right.
And Joshua Barnes, I guess, you know, since he had that idea and everything, and he was, to me, he was a great man,
Right.
you know, and everything. And that's why they wanted Wilson named after him.
The city and the county. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
it all. So, and I know y'all heard a lot about Butterfield.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a Barton High School in Alabama. And now that same man might be some kin to the Barton here, you know, the Barton family here, but all that you could read about it, but I got it in that book back there.
Yeah, it's named for a son of Charles H. Darden.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. But I got most of that stuff, I got it in the book. And also, and all that's most family picture. And this tell you about World War I, World War II, and how many soldiers were killed in World War I, how many were killed in World War II, and Korean War, and the Vietnam War. All this right here tell you about all three of them, four. World War I and World War II,
Right.
and the Korean War and Vietnam. This tell you about those wars here, and tell you how many killed and everything. And Archie Cooper, the guy that I found his strap butt on the yard sale,
Right.
he on this list too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, Archie L. Cooper.
Yeah. So, and all most of this is about black history because they tell you about what going on today, you know, concerning the black community.
Yeah, this is fairly recent.
Yeah, yeah, and all, and that tell you. Well, so well, anyway, this about that church, St. John A.M. Zion Church.
Central Church.
Yeah, St. John A.M. Zion Church. Well, it tell you the history. They were celebrating the 140 years. I you know, but I say that so I can go back to it.
Right.
If I need to know anything
Right.
about it. Because some of this stuff is hard to remember.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
up
right.
with it, you know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I got to be out here all the time to study this stuff. You know. And this is Barton Memorial Funeral Home to tell you about the people that used to be the manager and all, you know, and how it started and well, this might be, that's another family right there.
That one
yeah.
is.
Yeah, and this tell you about Jackson Chapel Church. It's a section church history in Wilson, date back more than 2 centuries. So it tell you all about how it got started and everything, and so all this about Barton Memorial Funeral Home tell you some everything about how it got started.
Right.
And this tell you about the Daily Time. Tell you how it got started and everything.
Right.
Wilson Daily Time. And they, back then they had a black man working there. And they tell you the history. His name Charlie Thomas. Tell you all about him and everything. And so I think Wilson Daily Time don't know I got all this information. But that's how it started. But I mean, it's a lot of reading you have to read and get to, and all.
Yeah, I know they've moved since this was done.
Yeah. So, you know, so this tell you a lot of thing about, and okay, this tell you about the family, and she recently died, and I think that was her mother right there, and she also died, but back then she wasn't dead, but I think, I think that's her daughter right there, Margot Swindell Dickinson. Well, anyway, what I saved, you know, that's documenting everything, and so, but anyway, that tell you all about the Wilson Daily Time and how it got started, and well, I you know what, I got so many posts in here, I'll be here all day, I got so.
All right.
And even if you look up, you got.
Yeah, so I was
You
looking up there.
have to tell each piece, Lewis, that up above your head.
Yeah. Well, now, I had somebody tell me that Kidder College students, it was the first black daycare in Wilson.
That is correct. I have heard that. Yeah.
Okay, it was the first licensed daycare back in 1968.
Right.
But Hackney daycare started way back in 47 or 49?
It started before anybody here
Yeah.
tell anybody
Did-
babysitting in this city.
Didn't it go by a different name at that time? Or
It
But
was
it
the
was the-
Kitty College, College of Knowledge.
College of Knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
But
it was a
Hackney used to
daycare.
be the golden,
The Golden Rule.
That's
Golden
it. That's
Rule.
Yeah,
it.
the
That's
Golden
it.
Rule. That's it.
but she did a fantastic job with the church because one of my children went there.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of black women during that time were working in tobacco factory because a lot of, during that time, that's most about the only job that blacks can get unless they were doing housework
Right.
and unless they go to school to be a school teacher. But I see now opportunity is wide open.
Oh,
now.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Cause see, look, back then you didn't have blacks working in stores and things at the cash register and all of that, So now you see all of that now.
Right.
And in the bank.
And in the bank
Right.
and all, So the opportunity to open up for the blacks in the community.
Hattie Daniels being a minister, she had a vision, and it was a great vision.
Right.
I never heard of no daycare until I found out.
Yeah,
about
this
it.
is part of
Yeah,
the,
because it was
some
kind of
of the
new back in those
daycare
days.
right here.
That's right.
yeah, some of her children right there. Yeah, some of her children. But it's a whole lot of reading you got to do, and that's why, you know, I rather for people to come and look at it and read it. But most time, like they have African American Family Day, I display.
Take a little bit out and
Yeah, display it there so people can walk around and read it and take the time looking at it, you know, and everything. So, and I guess y'all know about our new president.
oh yes.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I think I remember that article in the paper that day.
yeah. That's him again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I gotta, well, anyway, I'm just going around.
Oh, that's fine.
Now, most of this tell you thing about Wilson, not only blacks but whites too. I mean, I got some of everything, and this one, Jesse Helms when he came to Wilson, and
George
Wallace. They're not my favorite.
Right,
people,
but you got him there, don't you?
yeah. And this tell you some of the things that went on in Wilson, whereby, you know, and this tell you about some black family here in Wilson, and you know, Booker T. Washington.
yes,
He came to Wilson. This part of the picture here, where he came to Wilson, and so this is, you know, the Barton family, and all this. I think that's his wife right there, and that's a portrait of them. And this is Samuel Vitt. He used to be the principal of Vitt School. No, what do you call that school? Sam Vitt School.
Right.
Yeah, the OIC building now.
Right.
But anyway, that's him. He was an educator and postmaster, smart man.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I wish I could have been that smart. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody told us that Langston Hughes had come to Wilson.
Nah,
Did you know anything about that?
you know what, Langston Hughes, it's something about him. I remember we had to learn some of his poems back in school.
Yeah.
Life of Me, Been No Christmas Down, had boards in it, splendid, all torn up, and all of that. I can't recite all that stuff now.
That's good.
Yeah.
But somebody told me he had come here, and
But I don't have
who
that.
was that, Matt? Somebody. That was Gloria.
Yeah.
Laura Burke.
No, Gloria Freeman.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
this is about Dalton High School also. Some of the stuff about Dalton. I know y'all familiar with the Roundhouse.
Oh, I'm there about every other day.
Yeah, that's the Roundhouse.
Oh yes.
And so, all this tell you about Harry Faison was the first black man appointed to the housing inspector. Yeah, well, he's still living today.
I was
As a
glad-
matter of fact, he been here.
I was going to ask you if he was.
Yeah, he been here, him and his wife. Cause he heard about my place, and I told him I got him out here somewhere.
Right.
I showed it to him. and now this, the first two, let me see, they were back on the police department,
Right,
back in the 50s, you know, and everything. They had to walk the street. They didn't have no car, but later on they finally got a car. But see, the thing about it, they couldn't arrest white people during that time.
Right.
You know, and so this is chart. Okay. Now, also Mr. Darton. Now, I think he was the first black to sell Harley Davidson motorcycle.
Really?
In the first one to sell those RCA phonograph.
I always thought it was interesting when I saw the picture talking about being an undertaker and sells bicycles too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It tell you all about that.
Right.
Yeah. And all. So it tell you.
I know this lady here over there at Hattie Daniels.
That's my daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
right?
know that.
That's my daughter.
My son actually went there last year.
Yeah,
He was
well,
in
that's my
pre-K there.
daughter.
Well, okay.
Yeah, she
And my two
Very nice
oldest,
lady.
And my two oldest sons went to Hattie Daniels daycare in her house.
Really?
When she
Way
was
back
giving
when.
them milk in the little milk jars, you know,
Really?
the little baby food jars. She
Right.
would wash them out and put milk
Really?
in it for them to drink out of in the state when they closed her down. You know, it was for that sanitary
Right.
reason, you know. But a lot of children lived, and she washed them dishes with her hands, soap and water.
So in the state, you said the state closed her down?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
the
what
state.
I heard. And
'Cause she
they
did.
came in and you know how they say you got to have dishes sanitary, and then she was washing the baby food. You know, the baby food jars that you get the baby food back then in.
Yeah.
She would wash them out. Everybody would save some to give her, and she would wash them out. And that's what she used to put the milk in.
Right.
Serve the children milk, and they didn't like that idea. They didn't think it was sanitary.
Right.
But it won't long after we heard the word about it that they were closing her down.
Really?
I don't know what all their reasons they put down.
Well, one thing, you had to be a licensed
Right.
to run a
Right.
daycare, and she wasn't licensed.
And she had a lot of children.
And
Right.
so, and that's why they wanted to honor that daycare after her, because most of the kids went there.
Right.
You know, I mean, still were going to. Now, see, they moved to what name of that hospital?
Over there at the North Carolina
North Carolina.
Special Care, what they called it back then.
The hospital. It
Okay.
used to be not
The
the tuberculosis.
Over there near where the deaf school is? Over
Yeah,
there?
yeah, there,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They started out there, and then finally, you know, they built had a thing that they
Right off the Lipscomb
and they,
Road.
Yeah, and they honor her.
Right.
Her name still
Oh, yeah.
goes on. You know. Now I never know about this, but this was a restaurant right there on South Street during the tobacco time, and I said that was taken in 1931.
Right.
But that building in there now is nothing in there.
Really, I wonder if it was still there.
No, it was the building.
The
I think that the building right there, but it's still there. But you know, that's the way it is.
Right.
They're not using it no more. But I didn't know that myself
Really?
until like I said, I started doing all this work and keeping up with everything. All this about this thing going on in Wilson, this thing that I never heard of, and these some old. Let's see now. Oh, there's some old pictures here about different things in Wilson. And so you can just look at it and all, but some of it, I know about it, but it's a lot of information about all of it.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
got to spend a lot of time talking about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
Yeah, you got to spend a lot of time
Right.
talking about it. So, and I don't know about y'all time. So this is the same thing about some old thing in Wilson, and
Oh yeah, some of the old fire departments.
yeah, and this our president again. I say that too. That's his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him, and that's his sister. He got a brother too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got a brother picture over there. Yeah, somewhere.
I was going to ask. I see this picture. You may or may not know. Talking about this church here. It was the First Methodist Church. Burned down,
And
1984.
I remember that.
Where was that located at?
It was right down Green Street, and I think it's right down the corner of Green and wait a minute now, Green Street and Goldberg Street, no mistaken.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That was-
yeah, I think that's where it was. Not it's Goldberg. No, might be in Pine Street, somewhere
One
up
of
in there.
those, okay.
I can't remember. I remember when it was burning.
Yeah, 'cause like I say, not
Yeah.
familiar with that. I guess
They,
because
don't
it's
they
not
tell
there
you
anymore.
what street it on?
It doesn't say.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
didn't
Yeah,
put it on there.
I have to most
Were
time.
you living here in Wilson?
I was not. No,
Okay.
no. Matter of fact, I was just a child then.
And somebody asked me, a lady from Wilson Day at a Time asked me,
Oh, yeah.
she heard Elvis Presley
Right,
been in Wilson. I said, yeah, I got the poster out there
right.
too. He came two times.
Fleming Stadium.
He first time he went to a Fleming Stadium,
Yeah.
and then that was 1955, and then 1956 he went to Coon School.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I tell you right in there. He went to Coon School,
Huh.
and he ate
Ate at
at
Cliff's Drive-In.
Cliff Drive-In.
Huh.
What is located in this building now?
The Mexican got it.
Really? Okay.
I don't know
was,
what they're doing in there.
I was trying to, because I know the building, but I can't place of what it.
Yeah,
what it
they
is now.
they got it. I don't know what I don't know what they run in there. But see, I remember Cliff driving.
Right.
During that time, we had to go back in the bike to get food. You know, during that time, I remember. I didn't hardly go there that much, but I might have went there one time.
Right.
But I don't even. But I know he came to Wilson,
Mhm.
but during that time, you know, a lot of places.
That was early in his career too. That was 1955.
Yeah, yeah. And these are things that I didn't know about, you know, about the little store and all, but, you know, all this stuff, you got to sit down and read it. And it's take a lot of reading and just coming out here, concentrating on it, on all this stuff and try to remember all of it.
Right.
And all, and this when, okay, Carter, you know, Carter, he came to Wilson.
Right.
That tell you about when he came to Wilson. And this, you see what all this about. Oh, let me see. This old picture. I got to read all of that to tell you all about what that is.
Uh-huh.
I done read it one time, but I can't remember right offhand.
Right.
But see, I try to keep up with all of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't, well, I try to keep up with the whites too, what going on with them and, you know, the history and everything about them too, that played a part in Wilson,
Uh-huh.
you know, life, you know, so.
Well, I think we got their story documented. You're trying to fill in some gaps, aren't you?
Yeah.
When did you start this collecting?
When I started, Tina.
Right when we got married,
Uh-huh.
1964.
Really?
She remembered.
Yeah, I remember, because they was putting it in the house.
Did you think it
We
was?
had pictures everywhere. We had boxes of pictures all over there. We even had that bookshelf there in the house that we got out here now with some of the books.
Uh-huh.
And we had pictures on top of it and all kinds of stuff. We just had a lot of stuff in the house.
Did you think it was going to grow this big?
No, I
Got some
never
over
thought
here.
it was going to grow.
All
I thought
this
we was
right
going
here.
to keep a house full of stuff.
All this is all. Now this man here, his family used to be the Ku Klux Klansman.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm quite sure y'all heard the story about him.
Tell
But,
us.
Yeah,
Tell us this story.
yeah,
Oh, Bob Zellner, of course.
yeah.
We know
You
him.
know, he's helped in the civil rights.
He was
you
the
know.
only white
Yeah.
SNCC field organizer.
Cause
Okay.
cause his family, dad all were Ku Klux Klansmen.
Really?
And he got beaten too. He got beaten.
He sure
up
did,
north. He
in
got
Mississippi.
beaten down here because he was helping the blacks and the, you know, for their rights, civil rights.
Right.
Yeah, he was helping the blacks. He got beaten too.
Yep.
You know, but it, you know, tell about his
Mhm.
life and everything, how he support the blacks and their movements today. You know, he right there for them. He worked with William Barber and all. I got some old
Mhm.
pictures and things that he had been doing. You know,
He met Dr. King when he was in college.
Yeah,
You heard that
yeah,
story, right?
yeah. But all that in there.
And King
but-
helped him escape.
Yeah. Now all this in here, most about the white family
Right.
in that section.
Okay.
But
Gosh,
like,
it goes down here too.
I mean all that.
Oh my goodness.
But all this here and that about the blacks, local
Right.
black family, and I mean it's a whole lot in here. I'll tell you everything about what went on during the. I said in the 30 right on up today.
Right,
You
right.
know, I mean all of that, but it's a whole lot of information in there about, you know, our people and everything. And but Barton High School, it was a good school, and those teachers, they were really concerned about us, and they did everything they could to help us, you know, and that's what helped me,
Right.
Because well, for then I probably wouldn't be standing here today,
Right.
because I give them credit. Well, first of all, I give God the credit, but they were right there for us.
That's right.
They were right there for us. They encouraged me, and so they really, you know, helped me out a whole lot. You know,
So that's changed a little bit. That's changed a little bit over the years.
yeah,
The way the school used to support.
yeah. Now, all those posters, they tell you everything about Wilson, from when Wilson started, 1849, to right on up to this day. All those posters, 53 of them. It started right there and all the way around, and to right here, tell you everything. In that corner, it tell you all about the military guys, the one that lost a life,
Right.
and everything, and so even even let's see, I want to show you this. Let me see if I can find it. I want to show you something. And even they named the street after him and everything, but that was let me get a name. Leon Lucas. Yeah, I talked to him personally because his daddy used to be the pastor of the church right down the street, but he got a church on Garner Street. I've been to his church and talked to him.
He was killed in Afghanistan, you said?
Wait a minute. Now let me get. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
Oh,
When
yeah.
he killed in Afghanistan. This about.
Lucas.
Yeah, even Bruce Rover there at the funeral and everything. Yeah. Well, they don't know I have all this information out here. but anyway, this the whole family, everything they had in the paper.
I remember.
Yeah, that's one of the pictures there. And so, this I've been doing a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And I got some more about military guys all in there. The man recently killed there in Colorado. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they still haven't found him, but I don't think. Well, I got all that posted too. And Archer Cooper,
Yeah. Okay.
that's the one that went in the Marine. Okay, like I said, I go to yard sales, and I found his strap book on the yard sale.
Really?
Yeah. And so he had made copies of everything that when he played basketball,
Right.
1962 and 63. That's all up right there.
Wow.
He saved every bit of it.
Huh.
And I bought that strap book for $1. And I told the lady, the white lady had the book, but it was all kind of regular. And I asked her, I said, you want to sell this book? Oh, and she said, yeah, just give me $1 for it. I gave her $1, so I got it together and put it in this book.
So you don't know how she got it, do you?
No, I really don't, because she was from California. Yeah, I don't know.
You throw your trash out, you gotta believe somebody go through it.
And this the book. He had this book right here.
Huh.
This the book that he had, Archer Cooper. He had bought him because he graduated 65. But anyway, this is his book that he had.
He graduated from Darden?
Yeah, 65. But he had a yearbook of 64. And so I got the yearbook and everything. Paid $1 for it.
Huh.
This is Archer Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's his yearbook.
Huh.
And
Oh yeah. These are all the.
so all that, now, that's volume 1, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That-
Volume 1.
That's East Wilson Historical District. Tell you about the local black history in Wilson. All of that right there. That's volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. Everything you want to know about the blacks in our community that did positive things.
Right,
I don't put nobody in there that killing people and all that kind of stuff. And,
Because this project that we've been doing, it's
Yeah.
basically focusing on East Wilson. So.
yeah. So all that tell you about everything about in Wilson. And this is our local black history, the school, the library, and daycare. And they tell you how all those schools honor after blacks. I show you the pictures. I show you the picture. Okay, see, Darton Miller School will honor after C.H. Darton. You got Vitt Elementary School will honor after Samuel H. Vitt. And then you got M.M. Daniel Learning Center, used to be Ever Street School. And then you got Dr. Arthur Barnes, Barnes Elementary School. And you got John Wesley Jones, Jones Elementary School.
Yeah, that's where my son attends. It's
Yeah,
a school named
well,
after him.
Now, now all this right here it tell you all about those people. You know, well, okay, you got one that tell you some more about it. This is Darton High School, how it used to look. Okay, and this the additional part that they added on. Now this is Samuel H. Vitt. Now that tell you all about his life. and that's school, that monument or statue,
Right.
whatever. They built that and all. But
So I was going to ask you if you know part of the building that was Darden, is part of it the elementary school. Did they keep some of it, or did they tear
They
it
kept
off?
that part.
I say that looks familiar.
yeah, they
Right.
kept that part. The rest
Okay.
of it they tore down.
Right.
That's
okay.
what some people didn't like.
Right.
They
Right.
tore down the other part.
Mhm.
That's the new part right there.
Right. Okay. I've always wondered that if that
Yeah.
was part of it.
Yeah. And that's that monument they got in front of, and that's part of his family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his house is still there on Green Street.
Right, right.
Yeah, his house is still there. And so it's still there. And that's a historical marker they built. And so that tells you something. Yeah, that's his house. Yeah.
You know who owns that house now?
I don't know. I thought about that the other
I've
day.
always wanted to. I'm like, man, I'd like to go inside this house to see
That's
what it looks
exactly
like.
what I was thinking.
You know?
Whose house is it?
Vic, Samuel Vic. And I said, well, his family, I got his family,
I don't
picture.
know.
Yeah. And that's Dr. Barnes.
Okay.
Well, now I'm going to tell you who his relative is.
Joshua Barnes.
Oh, yeah, you see it.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, Joshua Barnes, his
Which-
relative.
Yeah.
That's
right
him
there
over
at the
there.
very front. I never knew that.
Yeah, that's him. That's his relative. That's why he looked like,
Yeah, he looks mixed. I've always
Yeah,
wondered
I remember
that.
him.
Yeah.
I remember him. I remember him when I was a boy.
He didn't live long.
No, and that's his son right there. His son graduated in 1960, so he's a doctor too up there in Washington D.C. They tell you it's a thing what he accomplished. That's his son right there. Yeah, but
Interesting.
yeah. That's Mr. Jones to tell you about him, the way he went to school and everything. That's some of the thing that he done while he was here in school, and that's a story about him, why they, named the school after him, and so I tell you everything about him. But you just got to come out here and sit down and read all this stuff. Yeah. And this lady right here, she was the
Here.
she was the principal Santa Barbara School for many years, and so when they built that Everett Street School, then Mr. Daniel became the principal. She probably retired from there.
Right.
Yeah, she graduated from A&T State University.
Okay.
Yeah, and they really they wanted they wanted someone black, to be the head director, because since Miss Hattie Daniel, one that really started it,
Right.
but
So
she really I guess she couldn't qualify, for her to be a licensed daycare,
Right.
so that's why the city took over.
And then this lady here,
Yeah.
Dockery, she was there for many years. Wasn't she?
Yeah, but she wanted my daughter to take that job, and so my daughter talked to me about it, and I said, well, it's somewhere. Okay, it's in here. Let's see the library. Okay, let me look
Okay.
at this right here. See, I could go. Okay,
There it is, number 7.
yeah, but I had to look for 7. But anyway, the first black library was located on Nash Street over. I got.
Yancey drugstore.
I believe it. Yes, cause see, it was 2 drugstores, but Shea drugstore
Yeah.
and Yancey.
Uh-huh.
But I think it was. But I want to make sure. I
I
think it
don't
was.
know. Well, one of them.
So when did that open? Do you know? First black library?
Okay, it's in here.
Okay.
No. When you want to find something, you can't come find it. Oh boy. I gotta go back to 7. It's a section 7.
Now Sam Vick had kind of an unofficial library, didn't he?
Who that?
Sam Vick.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
I've heard he used to loan books out of his house.
I don't. Let me see now. Okay.
Well, there it is.
Is that
There's
it?
2 pictures of it.
Can you read it right there? Oh,
It was located over Dr. Yancey's drugstore on Nash Street.
yeah. Right, on that street. That was it right there. Now, she's still living. Doris Dickerson.
Really?
She's, what, 90? She in her 90s.
I don't know. You don't.
She's 90-some years old.
Wow.
Was that banquet they had the other night?
Yeah, she's 90-some years old.
Was she the first librarian
No,
at
she
that
was
library?
she was an assistant, and this lady here was
Okay.
a librarian.
What's her name?
Dora Dickerson?
Okay, that's librarian Elizabeth Jenkins.
Oh,
is sitting
yeah.
behind the desk talking with a board member, Miss O.N. Freeman.
Yeah, that's
That must have been Mr. Freeman.
yeah, that's his
That's
wife.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Doris Dickerson,
Met
library assistant, is shelving the books. So she was the librarian, that Jenkins lady. Okay, now that was on Nash Street, over Dr.
Dr.
Yankee
Yancey's store.
drugstore. It was
Right.
now. See, I didn't have no idea that somebody black had a drugstore back then. You
Right.
know? And it was too a shade drugstore too. And but then they moved on Pembroke Street. That shows where they located on Pembroke Street. And so that's the library I went to
Right, okay.
when I was coming up. Yeah, when I was coming up, I went to that library.
Is that building still standing?
Yeah,
Where it's located?
it's still there. And it used to be a cafe right beside of it called
Okay.
Stoplight Grill. That's where
We ate it.
we ate at. That's where the hangout was.
Right, right.
They had some good food. Yeah, that's the black place where they
Right.
hung at and go to eat and everything. They had some good food. Yeah, and then that library and all. So that's Miss Hattie Daniel's picture right there, and all. So that tell you all about how everything about Hattie Daniel and all.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now all that now. Okay, you got Volume 1 and Volume 2. The President Barack Obama. You got Volume 1, Volume 2. Tell you everything about his life. And so I've been keeping up that too. And that's my grandson.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's his scrapbook. I made that myself.
Uh-huh.
And this is Wilson business. It's all about Wilson. Yeah, and so
It's kind of
black and white.
right.
So I kept up with all that.
Right.
All those posters. And now they tell you about everything about how a lot of those businesses started. And all this about, some of it about local people in Wilson. Now, but all this tell you about blacks that made it to the top.
Right.
And everything. So, I mean, it'll tell you a whole lot of things about the black race. Those generals back in World War II. And so, most of those people there, they the one that broke the barrier for
Right.
blacks, to get an opportunity, to be where we at today. And they had it hard.
Oh, yeah.
They had it hard. They tell you the story. You got to read it all, but they had it hard. And even so, I didn't know we had a black bank here.
I've heard about that.
Right there.
Yeah,
Back in
commercial.
1921. I didn't know that, but that's it right there. And so you can see the black leaders open the way. You got A.P. Coleman. He's on the city council.
Right.
You got Butterfield, and that's the when they started integrating the facility. Ryan Wilson, they had that march. Butterfield was head of it, and also Fitch. I don't know you, George Fitch.
Right, right.
Yeah,
His father.
Yeah, him and Fitch too. Fitch did some things too in Wilson, and that's Butterfield father right there. He was elected to the city council, and he was on the black during that time back in
Right.
1956. And they the one that broke the racial barrier. I said, opened the door for blacks in our community. Yeah, they the one that opened the doors for black and all. And so all.
That's a fancy looking right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just get a lot of these from yard sales? And
Yeah,
stuff?
y'all sell.
Antique places.
How he said that thing, Tina?
Piano, I guess.
No, oh yeah, that's right. He said my granddaddy got a piano phone or something like that. Yo, those two don't forget. Yeah, and that's my picture. I was a truck driver.
I was going to ask you what did you do?
So I drove trucks.
Drove trucks.
Worked at the store for a while.
Uh-huh.
Now I drove trucks. Stayed with them for 36 years, and so I got that quality service award.
Yeah, I still see their trucks driving around all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I stayed with them. They wanted me to come out one time, but I don't know. I ain't going back out there.
Did you drive cross country or just stay in this region?
Well, I run different town at night, you know, like Florida and Virginia.
Right.
Through there, you know, and that was about it. And then I started running local, you know. I was home every day then, but most time when I was driving at night, I stayed mostly in a motel. And sometime I'd take a load, head back to Wilson, drive
Right.
all night long.
Right.
You know, so those are local people, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And this was my pastor right here, but he left now.
Well, he was mine too.
Well, Pastor Hill,
Did you still go there?
yeah. He was your pastor.
That's how you look familiar to me. I have seen you. Me and we actually
I
went,
usher.
we
I
went there
usher.
for a couple years.
I
and-
usher there. I still
Yeah.
usher.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I've spoken to you before.
Yeah, when I usher there, I still go there. I
Okay.
like it there.
Yeah, I know he just left recently. I
Yeah,
know.
we got a new pastor now from Australia.
How's that going? A
Well,
little different.
Yeah, I have to listen mighty hard.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. And they tell you about some of the things blacks done up there,
Right.
the gas mask and stop sign, and the man remember how to. I mean, they lost the plan for the Washington D.C. He remember all that in his head. So and Thomas Jefferson said blacks were inferior to white, and he wrote him a 12-page letter stating.
That they were not.
Right. That's what I used to tell my children.
Right.
I said, look, God gave you brain just like anybody else.
Right.
The only thing you got to do is use those brain.
Right.
It's just like God gave one man 5 talents, gave one 4, and gave one 5, and I mean gave one 3, and gave one 1, and the man that got 1, he just throwed it away.
Right.
But the one that had 5, he blessed him with 5 more, and the other one had 2, blessed him with 2 more, and all
Right.
like that. So you use what you got.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
right.
used to tell my children, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's why one reason, that's why I wanted them to know these things, that they could do the same thing. Don't let people tell you you can't do this and you can't do that because your color.
Right.
You know, you could do it, but you got to apply yourself. You know, you could do it. And I keep up with the guy that killed, you know, rat and I keep up all of that too. And some of everything. I be out here working all the time. You give me something to do. You give me something to do. Now, that's one of those pictures of her when she was a little girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
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 The one, she probably don't even know I got it out here. But, and her sister and all, yeah. And so, but anyway, I love to keep up with the thing like this. Fort Bragg Commanding General to speak here on Father Day. I went to hear him because that's right up to date. He's
Right.
a general. He would made something else too. And most of these books, some of them I got.
Victrola.
Yeah. So, well, most time I play record for the kids.
It still plays?
Oh yeah, yes
Does it
sir.
really?
Yeah. Y'all want to hear it, but it still play.
The record that's on there is from Japan.
Yeah. Full ride scholarship.
Really?
Yeah. He had about, how many school called him?
I don't know. He had at least 70 offer scholarships. Some didn't offer.
Wow.
Yeah. He had a
Some
bunch
didn't
of
offer
schools.
scholarship.
And Wilson, some doctor, some prosper, some own business and all. And now, Best Stewart, that man right there, Now this was his home over here,
Mhm.
and he owned about 2 stores and owned a cafeteria, a cafe. We called it a cafe back then, and he owned houses.
Okay.
And but now when the government took over and everything, wanted to remodel this place or redevelop, or however
Right.
you want to say it, but then he had to sell his land and everything, and so they started building. Well, it was hard because during that time, well, I kind of want to say it and kind
Right.
of don't want to say it.
Right.
But during that time, I think the white people wanted this section over here.
Right.
And so he had a hard time. And he wanted me to come back over here. And me and my wife had got a house out there on Lot Spur.
Mhm.
And we were getting ready to move in it. But he encouraged me to come back over here because
How long have you been in this house here?
ever since 1970.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I decided, because he got that lot for me, right?
Really?
This lot.
Mhm.
So I decided to come back over here. And so
Did you build this house here? Or was
yeah,
you did?
well, Miss Mary Pepper,
Mhm.
black contractor,
Mhm.
she the one built my house, and but she came to my house and talked to me too, because I had already been getting ready to move into the other house
Mhm.
because my loan and everything I
Right.
went through,
Mhm.
and so I had my loan canceled. It
Mhm.
was through by Troy Mathis.
Mhm.
Somebody say he was dead now. He
Mhm.
probably is, but anyway, I decided to come over back over here. And so, and you see we got a new sheriff in town.
Oh yeah. I met him a few times.
Yeah, and all. So
Yeah.
that tell you about how. Now see, Daniel Hill got its name from a man used to own a lot of land.
Okay.
It said the western part of Wilson.
Okay.
Okay, when they redeveloped this section of, well, a long time they go way back.
Right.
They wanted to build some housing for the blacks over here, and so they just named this section Daniel Hill.
So there's somebody we spoke to a few days ago described to us that Daniel Hill is like you had an area where black families lived in this like one spot in the middle, but they were surrounded by white families.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was called, we call it a cocoon.
Right.
Yeah, well,
We only had a
Wait a
few
minute.
streets right in this area.
Right.
okay, the history of Daniel Hill in one of those books, who Daniel Hill was named after and
Right.
everything, and how it got its hill, because the man had built a house.
Mhm.
What name of that street?
Franklin.
Franklin.
Okay.
And it's sitting there on the hill.
Right.
But I'm every time I think about it, I tell my wife, I said, I'm gonna go by there and check that. It got the house number and everything.
Right.
But I don't know. I forget
See, I
about
used
it.
to go. I go down Bruton. That's how I saw the house with the gold rocks, and you don't ever turn there. But if you turn there, you can go right up Franklin.
So
Turn on Bruton. I always go that way when I'm going to Nash Street.
Right.
I
well,
go up Bruton.
that's how Daniel Hill got its name.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's in that book there. And but see, now my understanding, what I was told, blacks were living on West Nash.
Okay.
Okay, but the whites didn't want the blacks down on the area,
Right.
so they built this section over here special for us blacks
Right.
and moved us over here.
Hmm.
But one man didn't want to sell.
Mhm.
I'm talking about what somebody told me, the older
Right.
people. One man didn't want to sell.
Who was that? Do you know?
I don't know who the
Wow.
man was, but the Ku Klux Klansman got involved and made a move.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and so that's how we got over here. Okay, the reason why they built the Catholic school,
St. Alphonse? Oh.
yeah, St.
Alphonse?
Alphonse
Yeah.
built the church.
Mm-hmm.
Cause a long time ago, it's in one. I can't remember which. Wait a minute now. It's in one of those books.
Right.
A long time ago, the blacks were walking to the white Catholic church
Mhm.
right down West Nash.
Uh-huh.
St.
Yeah.
Therese.
That must have been
Right,
that
yeah,
church.
right.
I mean, I got it.
Yeah.
They were walking there,
Yeah.
and the whites started complaining about it. They didn't want blacks walking in their section.
Right.
So I think that's why they built that church over there on Reed Street
Mm-hmm.
and that school.
But then, of course, all the people that taught at St. Alphonsus are all white nuns. You
Yeah.
know, it's like-
Yeah, so So, but anyway, that's what I was told. And I think it's in, wait a minute, it's in one of those books there.
And how about when the members swindled? You know, it went kind of low, and then all the blacks started going to St. Teresa again.
That's why they built that church over there on Red Street.
Okay.
And because they didn't want the blacks to be walking in that neighborhood. And that used to be a black neighborhood.
I never knew that.
Well, see, that's what I was told.
Right.
But they built this section over here, and they moved the blacks over here.
Okay.
They were forced to move over here. Then we got surrounded, and then when they tore down all the old houses and everything, but they were trying to make this place an all-white neighborhood. But and the man that, like I said, Mr. Best Stewart, he started building his house, and every time they tear it down.
Really?
They tear it down every time. When they get it framed up.
They tried not to sell him the land, you remember?
Really?
Yeah.
He had a problem buying the land.
Yeah. And he had a problem
He had to buy
buying
the land back.
And they kept tearing it down. So
Who did? Who kept tearing it down?
the
Klan?
whites, I don't know whether the Klan or not, but they,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, he had some guys to watch his place, and they caught those guys.
Really?
They ain't heard nothing.
Really?
I ain't heard nothing else from it no more. He went on and
Finished that house, right?
yeah, and but those guys hurt those guys.
Tell me his name again.
Best Stewart, Best
Bev
Stewart,
Stewart.
Best
Best.
Stewart,
Yes.
BEST, Best Stewart.
Best. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, and then he did a whole lot of things for the black community also, because when they was registering blacks to vote, he would take people to register.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that myself. Yeah, because I registered when I was 18 years old, and during that time, if you couldn't read, you couldn't vote.
Right.
You couldn't register. So they told me to read the preamble of the Constitution. So I just looked at it and I said, "We the people of the United States, in order to form the more perfect union." Yeah.
And they said he reads fast, doesn't he?
Just hang up.
That man is the fastest reader.
Yeah, I learned it in school.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
There was a reason you had to learn that in school, because they never would have asked you
I
that
probably can't
question.
say it all now. But I had to learn it in school.
Right.
Well, when she told me to read that, I said, "We the people of the United States." That lady stopped me.
Right.
And
She
registered.
just- yeah. So I don't know. It's a whole lot of things.
That's a good
you know,
story.
I mean, we've been blessed, and all. And I think Barton High School did a great job helping us in school and all, because I seen the time that I wanted to quit school, because the way I was coming up, and but I was staying with my granddaddy. He told me, he said, "Son, you don't need to quit school." I said, "Granddad, I don't know how to go to school." So I got sick that year. I had a nervous breakdown, and well, I had went to about 4 or 5 doctors, but Dr. McCain, when I went to him, they took me to that clinic, and they said I had a nervous breakdown. So
How old were you then?
16,
16.
but I recovered, and the church got involved and bought me clothes. And
Really?
Gave
Did
me
they?
money. And
Which church?
Barnes Chapel Church. But it was across that railroad back then,
Right.
this side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, she was my girlfriend. she was there. They bought me a lot of clothes and gave me money and gave me, school supplies. And then I was working, little odds and ends job after I, was healed. And then one of the school teachers gave me a job. And I had different one to help me,
Right.
And that encouraged me to go ahead. I'm already behind, but I got some help.
I've heard from many people we've spoken to,
Yeah.
especially went there to Dart, and he said they made sure that the students were going to succeed.
Yeah.
They went
So
there.
I don't know whether I succeed or not, but I've been blessed. I'm doing good. I drive the school bus, not the school bus, but I help with the youth center spot.
Yeah, I see you wear the jacket there. Yeah.
And so I started off with the Boys and Girls Club doing volunteer work. But I guess they didn't want me to leave, so they started paying me a little money.
Really?
They had to beg me to be on the payroll. But I don't stay, don't work for 36 years, messing with those trucks and everything. They wanted me a break.
Right.
So, and then they wanted to put me on the payroll. I said, all right. So I've been on the payroll ever since. I mean, it ain't a whole lot of money, just something to do.
Would you do some driving around for them, right?
Yeah, when I pick up the kids every
Right.
after school program, go out there every morning, make sure the bus is running and everything. And some little thing I fix myself.
Right.
You know, a lot of little things I can fix myself. 'Cause I used to work on my cars out here too. Yeah, before I turned this into this, I used to work on my cars. When they started making those cars in the 90s, I just gave up.
A little harder to work. Too much computerized.
Cause
stuff
my daughter kept telling me, said, "Well, Daddy, why don't you go to school and be a mechanic?" I said, "No." I said, "This trucking job got good benefits and everything, and I'm making pretty good, and I don't see leaving this job with the benefits that I have, you know, and everything." So I just continued with the trucking company.
Right.
And so I had all this stuff, you know, and I just got it together, brought it out here, remodeled this place. Me and my son did most of the work out of sale. Yeah, 'cause I had a son. He can do anything about electricity. Yeah, he wired it up and everything. So he's pretty good. So this all tell you about everything about Wilson and other local. They repair watches and so on. And I hate
went out of business.
yeah. I hate it when they went out of business. I said, I don't know, it's just too much work. You know, people be calling me, want me to set up displays and stuff. And that 2-man cross-cut saw that's where it was. When I was coming up, you know, I had to pick cotton, buy the clothes and stuff. And then when it rained, I went to school. And so then tobacco season, I had to work in tobacco, you know, and all. So, well, back then, you know, my mama didn't have no education. Well, my daddy wasn't in my life, so I just had my mama, you know, and she had some more children too. But anyway, I had to work, and I had to buy my clothes and stuff. But anyway, I made it somehow.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I made a living.
Oh yeah.
I made a living, and that's why I tell these children, if you want to do something, you can do it. You know, and 'cause God gave you the brain, you just have to use it, get that skill and get that education. You
That's
know,
right.
and everything. And whatever you do a good job doing it, and that goes a long way. You know, so it went a long way with me. You know, because I've been blessed. I was supposed to be retired, but I'm semi-retired. But I mean, life has been good for me. I told my wife, I said, that's the best thing happened to me when I got married. So we've been married now about 50 years. So I'm doing good. I told the girl yesterday, the only way I made it, you know, I had to trust in the Lord and do what's right. And that's what kept me going. And that's why I'm in the church today.
Right.
Yeah. But I went to New Beginning because I've stayed in the Baptist church for a long time, but I want to make a change. So I made a change. So I'm happy now.
Right.
Yeah. Because, you know, I wanted to get away from that money. I was a church treasurer and all.
Right.
And I told my wife when I retired, I don't want to be bothered with no more money. So that's where I'm at.
Right.
Because I know they ain't going to let me mess with no money there.
Yeah.
So, but I had a good life.
That's good. Well,
By the Lord help. He helped me make it. Yeah.
we appreciate you letting us come out here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do.
Was it something else that you were interested in? Like some fancy?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I had to because I had to do it like that.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause
You ever,
yeah.